Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green fields and a calm river, lived an old carpenter. His hands were marked by time, yet still firm and skillful. He was known for building strong, lasting furniture, but inside he carried a pain that no one could see. In his youth, this man had made mistakes. He argued with relatives, fought with friends, and in moments of anger, spoke words he could never take back. Time passed, but guilt remained. Now in old age, he lived in isolation, believing the past had condemned him to eternal loneliness. Through the middle of that village ran a wide river. On one side stood the carpenter's humble home. On the other lived the people he once loved, but from whom he had distanced himself many years ago. For him, the river was not just water. It was a wall, a symbol of the emotional distance that grew larger each day. At night, the old man would sit on his porch. The silence felt heavier than the wood he carried at work. He watched the sunset reflected on the river and thought, "My life has become an emptiness. There is nothing left that I can repair." One day, a young traveler arrived in the village. Tired, he asked for shelter, and the carpenter welcomed him kindly. During dinner, the young man noticed the sadness in the old man's eyes. It was as if he carried an invisible weight, heavier than any log of wood. Curious, the young man asked, "Why do you live alone on this side when the people who matter are on the other side of the river?" The old man fell silent. That simple question reopened a forgotten wound. He had never admitted that his loneliness was the result of his own pride. The traveler then smiled and said, "If you still have strength, build a bridge, not just of wood, but a bridge of forgiveness. Maybe it's not too late to cross." The carpenter laughed in disbelief, but deep inside those words lit a hope he hadn't felt in years. The next morning he grabbed his tools. He cut logs, measured planks, raised beams. Each hammer strike was like a cry released, each joint a silent plea for forgiveness. He realized he was not only building a bridge, he was rebuilding himself. While his body worked, so did his mind. He remembered the arguments, the lost embraces, the tears he had caused. He felt pain, but also relief. Every piece of wood he put in place seemed to heal a part of his soul. Soon everyone noticed. People on the other side of the river watched in surprise. Some mocked, "He is stubborn, he won't change." Others, in silence, hoped the bridge was more than wood. They wished it was a request for reconciliation. After days of hard work, the bridge was finished, simple yet firm, strong enough to unite what had once been divided. The carpenter, sweaty and exhausted, looked at his work and wept. For the first time in years, he cried not from regret, but from hope. Trembling, he took the first step. Each plank creaked as if testing his courage. People began to gather. On the other side were his relatives and friends. Some hesitated, others cried. He feared rejection, but he kept walking, determined not to turn back. When he reached the end of the bridge, something unexpected happened. Instead of rejection, he was welcomed with hugs. Tears flowed, not only from his eyes but from everyone's. Time had taken much, but the bridge brought something even more valuable, the chance of a new beginning. The young man, watching from afar, walked closer and calmly said, "You didn't just build a bridge to cross the river. You built a bridge inside your heart, and that is the hardest work of all." The carpenter understood, and in that instant, he felt lighter than he had since his youth. That day, the old carpenter discovered it is never too late to rebuild relationships. The wooden bridge became a symbol of courage, forgiveness, and transformation. The message is clear. When we dare to build bridges, we not only connect places, we heal souls, including our own. If this story touched your heart, now it's your turn to act. Hit the like button right now, because every like helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Here you will always find stories that can transform your day and maybe even your life. And I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below telling me which bridge you need to build today. It might be with a friend, with someone in your family, or even with yourself. Together, let's spread stories that heal, inspire, and transform. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story with a new lesson for the heart.